Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new video. Today's video is a short video about my excavator, and I have a small thing with the excavator I'm not so pleased with. You might wonder what this is, but we are coming to that in a moment. I will first start with explaining what the problem, and not the problem, what the annoying thing is about. And it's this. This is a fuel sender, I think it's called, from my excavator. And the thing with this is that it's very primitive. It does only one thing. And what it does is that you have fuel in your tank, and the fuel goes over this float here, and it lifts the float like that. It turns off, you could say, the switch that's in here, making no contact between these two contacts here. When it's down like that, it makes contact here. And how it works is that when there is fuel in the tank up here, it lifts the float like that, nothing happens, and the fuel goes down, 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 down. And when it comes down to about 2/3 down on the float starts to go down. It makes contact up here, and that makes a buzzer in the cab sound, and a light goes on. So that tells me I have like 2 inches fuel left in the tank. And that's okay if you're like home doing work, where you can just stop and go and get the fuel can and refuel the machine. But if you're out on a job, it's very annoying. Suddenly the buzzer goes off and you have almost no fuel left. And that's a very annoying feature, this on-off feature, and that you have no clue how much fuel you have until it's practically empty. And that brings us to the point of the day. I will upgrade this to a new system, and it's this system. We can start with opening this small box. And in here we have the meter that shows exactly how much fuel there is in the tank by moving the needle up and down there. So I will mount this in the machine where I can see it, so I can, whenever I want, see, okay, I have this much fuel in the machine. Well, then I know. And this is controlled by a new kind of fuel sender, or fuel sender. And it's this one. It looks like this. And it also has a float. But the difference here is that this float moves freely through the complete range like this. So the tank will sit just over the end of the rod here, under the rod here. And when I down to 0, I actually have the same amount of fuel practically left, maybe a little bit less than when this model went off. So this is the upgrade, but of course it's not a bolt-on upgrade. If we look at the old, well, we don't need to look at that, we can look at this one, because this is from the old. We look at the old pattern, or bolt pattern here, we see these are just fixing holes, so though for the sender, so those are not in the calculation. But on the machine we have the same pattern as here. We have 6 holes like this spread out, and that's good. But when we look at the sender, we see that there is only 5 holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There is no additional hole. There is no hole that matches up with a new one. So what I need to do is to bore new holes into this, in this pattern, so I can fix this on the machine. So that's the first task, make new holes. I'm not 100% sure I will use this gasket because it's a little bit small. It's even smaller than the plate that it came with, and the holes will actually come closer to the edge here, and it will come very close to this edge of the rubber. I have additional rubber, so I can make a copy of this plate in new rubber. If you compare them like this, you can see that it's much smaller, and if I move it just a little bit, you can actually see how close the holes here are to the edge. So I practically will cut out the edge if I make holes in this one. So I think I will trace a new gasket. So I will start to set up for drilling the holes here. We can look at it again when the holes are drilled. I will make a time lapse of this work so you can see exactly how I did it. So let's go on with that. Okay then, there we have it. New holes are bored all around, and it's looking good, but one hole, namely this hole, came very close to this old hole there, but it's still holding together. There is less than 1 millimeter, so I had to think about that when I tighten that screw, that I don't tighten it too hard, because I probably will press the wall between them out of shape if I do. So otherwise I don't think that will be a problem either. So next step here is that I need to make myself a new seal. Here I have the gasket material, and now you might think, well, that's rubber and this is not, this is cork. Well, this isn't cork. It looks like cork, but it's a rubber material. So I wanted something thicker, and this rubber is a thicker material. And this is also the material we use in all our engine renovations. So it's proven over time that it's a really good quality gasket material. So that's why I'm going to use that. And I will have no regrets afterwards. And I'm just cutting out the shape here, the outer shape, and that's the shape that's actually less important in this case, because that's just the outside. And the scissors I'm using here are actually not surgical. It's for medical use. It's for cutting. What's it called when you break an arm and leg and you put it in a gasket? Casting. What's it called? I don't know, but that's when they cut these open. They use these kind of scissors. And they're really good for cutting gaskets. I recommend that if you can get hold of one of those. I will stamp out the holes. So there we have the outer shape. So now I have to mark the holes. And I will do that with a marker pen. Sorry, I said stamp. What I meant was punch. These are pipe punches. That's because they look like pipes with a hole there. And these are made for punching holes into gaskets. Like so. There we have perfect hole, round. So there we have all the holes, and these should now match up with these holes, and they do, like that. So now I need to cut myself a center hole, and that I will do with a knife. So there you saw me cut it, and it doesn't need to be really straight, and the only thing this opening is for is to get the float through this. So it passes through now. I'm not gonna cut it all the way out. It's good enough like that. That will give it more surface area also. So the gasket is done. The sensor or the sender is bored and fixed, so it's done. It's actually time to start moving out to the machine, because we need to do one more thing when it comes to cutting, and that's fitting this dial. It's screwed on with a big nut like that, so we need to cut ourselves a hole that this O-ring here will rest against, and then secure it with this big nut. So I need to find myself a good place, and I need to cut myself a hole in this size. I'm not really sure right now if I have. I think it's 52 millimeters. I believe it's 52 millimeters. There we have it. And it's 52 millimeters exact. I know I don't have step drills that goes up to 52 millimeters, so I have to find myself hole saw. So as I predicted, I don't have 52, but I found 54, and I'm pretty sure 54 will work for this application also. It will make the hole a little bit bigger, but I think it's gonna be okay. So I will use that one like that, because when I measure here, if I set this to 54 like that, and then I put this on here, there is a small size difference there, but it doesn't come out. It definitely don't come out. It's under the edge, so I'm pretty sure 54 will work for this. But as I said, that will probably work just fine, so I will use that. So now we have the drill, we have all the parts ready. We only need to go out to the machine, find a place for this one, make the hole, and then my good folk, we have one more task, of course, and that's to connect everything. And I'm not really sure what we have here, because I haven't checked yet. We have 12 volt in, we have ground, and then we have 3 cables. And the question is, what are the 3 cables? It's stated here, so you don't need to wonder. The black one is of course ground, as I said, and the red one is the 12 volt that we're gonna put to the key, I think. Then we have the 3 remaining cables, and those are blue, yellow and white. And if you start with the blue one, this is the signal, and this one is going to blue here because that's signal. The yellow one, this is for the backlight, So this one will go with the red one together to key. And then finally we have the white one, and the white one is for adjustment. So this one is not going to be permanently connected. This called adjustment is for adjusting the color of the backlight, because this has different colors on the backlight. So by touching this to either ground or the positive, I don't know which, I need to find that out, you can change the color here on the screen. The white wire touches the negative pole, ground, shortly, and it will change the backlight color. So it's the ground it's going to. You need to ground this out to something on the machine, and you will change the color. And the rest is just as I said. And I didn't say that this system that I bought actually works from 9 to 32 volts. So you can have it on a 24 volt machine, and you can have it on a 12 volt machine. It's no problem. They work on either. The operating current of this system is 100 milliamps, so it's very low. And it works from -40 to +80 degrees. Next, out on the machine, mount this one, mount that one, put the gasket in, and then starting on the wiring work. So let's do that. Actually, good folks, I will wait with that for now, because right now it's evening, it's getting pretty dark out there, and I don't have any good lights, and I think we can do this tomorrow. For you it will be just a couple of seconds, but I will have to wait with this until tomorrow. So we will start tomorrow out at the machine. See you there. connected the power. I found an empty power lug under here, so it's on a fuse now, and I connected the ground and I connected the signal. Everything is done. The question now is, will this new meter work? Let's find out. Let's turn the power on. 3, 2, 1. And there we see I have 3/4 of a tank in the machine, and that's about correct. And if I turn it off, it flips down, and when I turn it on again, it will go through the process of testing everything before showing, yes, we have 3/4 of a tank in the machine. And I choose this white bright color because this is the one that easiest to see. You can check the colors again. Here you can see a lot of the colors, and the green is pretty okay, but I like this white light because I have white backing on this meter also, so it will match, and it looks good. So that's it. It's working. I have a working fuel sender and meter in the machine, so I can at any time see how much fuel I have, and I also now know exactly how much I have when I am full. I know how much I have when I'm half, and I know how much I have at 1/4 there, because I have measured the tank. So I know that when I come down to 1/4 here, I have about 2 hours of heavy work left before I'm going down to empty, and I have missed that function for a long time now. Now it's there, and I'm really happy. And that's it for this. There was nothing more about it. I said it would be a short video. It's not so short, but it's just about this. So I hope it was enjoyable anyway, and I hope to see you on the next one. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing that. It would help the channel and the algorithm and make me very happy. So please do that, and maybe give me a thumbs up when you're at it. So thank you for this time, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.